Amir sir.
थोड़ा पीछे नहीं लो, नीचे नहीं लो. Amir, obviously, like you have a very long-standing relationship with Akshay and Twinkle. Guys, put the mics down. Cameras, please. Mics down.
Can we just put the mics down?
Put the mics down. No one's going to get anything. थोड़ा नीचे.
Okay, guys, come on.
Amir, you have a long-standing relationship with Twinkle and Akshay. In fact, you were the videographer at their wedding. Apparently, is there anything to that? Coming to today, what would you like to say about Twinkle's, excellent turn as a writer?
Well, I'm really happy for Twinkle. I think it's wonderful that she's written a book and that she started writing. I think it's a wonderful thing. I've read some of her articles that have come out, and she's very entertaining. She has a lot of very wry kind of humor and very nice style of writing. So I'm very happy for her, and I've come to wish her all the very best and in the start of a new career for her.
Yeah. आमिर अभी लिखते हैं किताब या कुछ?
मैं तो नहीं लिखता हूँ, मैं पढ़ता बहुत हूँ, मैं लिखता नहीं मतलब.
आमिर, उनके कॉलेज लिखने से पहले आप लोग पता था उनका सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर इतना अच्छा, आपने उनके साथ फिल्म में भी काम किया है?
जी हाँ, मैंने उनके साथ फिल्म में काम किया है और उनका सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर तो हमेशा से अच्छा ही था. और उस वक्त मुझे अंदाज़ा नहीं था कि वो इतनी अच्छी लेखक बनेंगी. और मुझे बड़ी खुशी है कि ये किताब उन्होंने लिखी है. उनके आर्टिकल्स मैंने कई पढ़े हैं, बहुत ही मज़ेदार आर्टिकल्स हैं. और मेरी तरफ से उनको बहुत बहुत बधाई कि ये उनका एक नया कदम है एक नए करियर में. एंड आई विश हर ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट.
आमिर सर, अभी आपने बोला जैसे आप पढ़ना पसंद करते तो लास्ट बुक कौन सी पढ़ी? कोई फील?
मैं इस वक्त बुक पढ़ रहा हूँ, उसका नाम है सेपियंस. एंथ्रोपोलॉजी पे, हिस्ट्री ऑफ मैनकाइंड.
थैंक यू.
कोई नहीं.
Please go that side. I just need to like it. Just one picture. छोड़ पीछे से. आप इधर. Behind this.
Keep your phone here. I don't want to record.
Okay, but we still need to go a little behind. I have to come here and I have to hold this here, so it's in frame. Roll guys.
So, क्या प्रेरणा थी इस किताब के पीछे?
तो आप ऐसे पूछेंगे तो मैं कहाँ देखूँगी?
बैठने जगह ही नहीं है, क्या करें?
So I've been writing for 2 years and I've been writing columns, and finally the way I started writing was the editor of DNA said that you're a voracious reader and you crack apparently very lame jokes all the time, so why don't you write a humorous column? And I said, millions of people watch cricket, doesn't mean they can play cricket, but she said you try, and I started writing, and so I'm here.
We have also heard that Akshay also gives you a lot of input in your articles, so could you just...
Akshay's input is to remove words from my articles. He will remove words like Catholic priest, lotus, and he's my editor first, and then I have other editors. What does that mean? Like, do I behave like Johnny Leave and entertain him? No. Hi. Hello. Back from the parlor. Thanks, Mom. It's okay. मैं बोलूँगी आपने लेट डिस्कवर किया है, ये तो मेरे पास बचपन से था। सो प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है, व्हेन यू आर यंगर, सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर डेंजरस चीज़ है। अगर आपके पास दिमाग में कंट्रोल नहीं है तो आप दूसरे को शायद हर्ट कर लेते हैं वो सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर से। तो थोड़े एज के साथ वो कंट्रोल में आ जाता है, एंड दैट इज़ यू नो आई गेस विद टाइम दैट्स हैपेंड टू मी, सो आई कैन नाउ डील विद इट बेटर। नहीं, तो मैं अपनी थोड़ी तारीफ बैठ के करूँगी यहाँ। नहीं, I can't say that. It's been, I mean, I'm here because we had great feedback, but I'm not going to sit down and praise myself, really.
Twinkle, Akshay has also excelled in comedy roles in movies. Now that you have been appreciated for your sense of humor, will we see you do something in films as well as writing roles, or will you making a comeback in movies?
My husband does comedy and he gets paid millions. I do comedy, I can't even buy a chocolate. So yeah. When they had a sort of, they had emails where they asked you to sign up, I signed up. And I think that probably says it all.
ट्विंकल, अभी बॉलीवुड में से किसी फ्रेंड को या एक्ट्रेस या एक्टर को हुआ है आपके, बॉलीवुड में से आपके किसी दोस्त को हर्ट हुआ है आपके जोक से या आपके सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर से? कभी
मैं उन्हें फ़ोन करती हूँ रात को कि भाई आप कल कॉलम में आने वाले हो और ये आपके बारे में मैं लिख रही हूँ। जैसे कि नीलम मेरे कॉलम में थी तो मैंने उनको फ़ोन किया, या करण बहुत बार मेरे कॉलम्स में आते हैं, तो मैं उनको बता देती हूँ पहले से कि आप आने वाले हो, तो थोड़ा सा उनको इतना झटका नहीं लगता। मेरे पास इसके लिए बहुत फ़नी रिमार्क है, लेकिन अगर मैं वो बोलूँगी तो फिर मैं बड़ी तकलीफ़ में आ जाऊँगी, क्योंकि बुक्स से मूवीज़ बनाने का मेरा ही नहीं है। You come this side, darling. They are shouting at me. I think all of us have seen things like this. I would say I was a small girl and we went on a school trip to Hanging Garden, you know, in town, and I saw something like this. So it's a sad situation, and obviously these people are mentally ill. What can you say about that?
Mrs Funnybones, ये किसका सजेशन है? क्या आपकी आइडिया है सेम नाम?
Yes, we didn't find a better title, so we came up with Mrs Funnybones. आपको पसंद है तो फिर it's great, या नहीं पसंद है, so you know that was the best we could.
We live in a nation which is kind of very loud, very cautious. For you as someone who's trying to draw laughs over difficult disease, and how cautious you have to be while putting something on.
I think now we have to become very cautious. Earlier we used to make jokes about everything and everyone. I mean, if you see, let's say Laurel and Hardy, you made jokes about a fat guy and a thin guy. But today, if you make those jokes, you will be slandered, and you know you will be in a quandary. So yeah, you have to be pretty cautious with that.
अक्सर अवार्ड फंक्शंस होते हैं तो काफ़ी एक्टर स्टेज पे एंकर करते हैं और जोक्स करते हैं बॉलीवुड इंडस्ट्री के बारे में। क्या आपने कभी ऐसा कोई अवार्ड शो लाइव होस्ट करने का सोचा है? अगर आपको ऑफर आएगा तो क्या करेंगे?
मुझे ऑफर आएगा कि बात नहीं, मुझे पैसों की ज़रूरत होगी तो शायद। Thank you very much. What's your name?
RJ Alo.
ALOK. Thank you. Thank you very much.
लाइन पे मैंने देखी, अभी आ रहा है
क्या?
हाँ अभी आ रहा है। एक काम करना,
Okay, I'm going to start now. Good evening, and on behalf of Penguin Random House, I would like to welcome you all here to the launch of Twinkle Khanna's utterly brilliant Mrs Funnybones. Now, I had a brief this evening to try and be witty and funny, but quite frankly, I'm going to duck out of that really badly because there is no way I can compete with the absolutely stellar cast we have here to launch the book this evening. So I want to say thank you very much, firstly to Karan Johar for coming here and marshalling proceedings this evening, to Amir Khan, to Akshay Kumar, to Dimple Khanna, and of course to Dr. Sherry for being here and taking part this evening. I'm also going to be very, very brief because actually there is no one sharper and no one wittier than our author this evening, Twinkle Khanna. Now, as you all know, Twinkle is multi-talented. She is an actor, entrepreneur, she's a well-respected interior designer, she's a columnist, and now, thankfully, she is a fully fledged author. As any of you who read her columns regularly know, she's opinionated, she's outspoken, she is intelligent, she's insightful, she's humorous, and she's poignant, and often that is all within the same column every week. She says and articulates everything that we are all thinking, and honestly, we could not be prouder to be her publishers today. Congratulations. And so on that note, I want to hand over to someone who has worked very closely with Twinkle, our editor-in-chief, Millie Ashwarya.
Thank you, Caroline. Good evening, everybody. I'm just going to briefly talk about how it was working with Twinkle. She's extremely involved. I never expected that. You know, she writes from the cover to the book design to the illustrations. It's been quite a journey for me too personally. I think she's forced us to think, question, rethink, and in the end what we have is the book. It's been an absolute delight to read, I think, an everyday modern Indian woman's voice, which is funny, articulate, but also picks on meaningful and serious issues. So it's a combination that Twinkle's got. She makes us think, she makes us laugh, and she makes us want more. So on that note, I would like her to keep on writing. I would like her to publish more with us, and just break the myth that celebrities can't write. They can actually write and write very well. So thank you everybody for being here. I now give the floor to Caroline. Thank you.
Thank you. I am now going to hand over proceedings for the evening to someone who is far more of a pro at this than I am, Mr. Karan Johar.
Hi, good evening, and thank you very much for being here this evening. As the title of this wonderful book suggests, you know that Twinkle is not the most modest person in the house, because it says Mrs Funnybones by her own admission. Self-proclaimed Mrs Funnybones. Give it up for Twinkle Khanna, ladies and gentlemen. I have to say, very few people have scarred my childhood as much as Twinkle has, and I have to give full credit to her for doing that. She was the only, and I repeat, the only girl I've ever been madly in love with. So she has the rare distinction of having that prestigious part of her historic life, that she had me in love with a woman. The only time in my life was Twinkle Khanna. And of course my heart was broken several years later when she refused my debut film, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, which she proclaims she did me a favor by doing, because she said that she actually went on to kind of help Rani Mukherjee in her endeavor, who finally ended up doing the part. So, giving you a sense that this is what Twinkle is all about, and it's no shock or surprise to me that she went on to become such a popular cult figure on the pop culture writing circuit so soon. In over a year, she made such a large impact with her columns in DNA, and subsequently a book comes out, which was no surprise to me. A book that is well, definitely worth much more than just a read. It's entertainment unplugged, just like Twinkle Khanna always is. Twinkle is not one of the most funny people I know, but deeply intuitive about her observations, about life around her, slice of life around her, and she's deeply, I think, connected with human nature, and I think that's what her book resonates in every which way. Before I say any further, I think we should allow the woman of the hour to really take over. Please welcome on stage none other than Twinkle Khanna. So hi.
Hi.
Hi. So I tried to get you to do this on national television for very many years and you refused. Why?
Because my husband said that you'll go on Coffee with Karan and the first word you'll say is penis and then you'll have to go back.
Is that, he has a problem with the word penis?
No, but he doesn't want his wife to go around saying penis, penis, penis.
Okay, alright. Okay, well done. Before we make this like the AIB roast and Amir Khan will storm right out, I'm just going to make it about the book. I'm going to make it about the book. So, just like every other member of the media, what is the book about?
It's about you, Karan. There's a chapter in it says Karan Johar celebrates Karma Chauth. There really is a chapter.
There's a part of me that really wants to do that, you know.
It's about how a modern woman looks at India and how India looks right back at her.
Right.
We live in a world where we have sent a satellite to Mars, but we're looking at the moon and praying for our husband's long lives. I do it. My sister-in-law makes me do it, forces me. So, you know, and the thing about writing about India is our economic backgrounds are often very different, but our cultural references are always the same. So, movie stars' child will have a black thread around her wrist, and so will a tailor's. And I try to find things that are, you know, sort of a common thread, literally, between all kinds of people, and look at India in my own sort of wonky way.
Well, your wonky way has definitely gone quite far in succeeding, so well done on that. And I'm sure much to the amusement of your family and your husband, who's always politically correct. I don't know how he really reacts to the things you write on a daily basis.
I have many editors. He's my first editor, and he makes me remove words and phrases, lines. He's made me remove Pakistan 4 times. He tried to make me remove Lotus from my last one. I'm writing a column on Radhe Ma.
So he's your in-house Pehla Jnelani.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yes.
Okay. Alright, wonderful. Well, okay, you know how it goes with this coffee banter, that we have like what I call the rapid fire, where you're meant to actually kind of dodge the questions cleverly, because very rarely do people really answer them honestly, but I'm hoping that is not the case with you. So are you ready before we storm into it?
Yeah.
Because,
bring it on.
Because I didn't think you were the type for me to continue gushing about your book and you accepting those compliments.
Yeah.
Because we all know the book is going to be supremely entertaining, and that's why we're all here. But it's not really about the book, is it? Twinkle.
Hey. That's it. Now you're dead. So please, before we go further, now that he's done this to me, I have to say a few things. We were in boarding school together, and he was constantly hungry for some reason. So he kept telling me to rob food from him, from the canteen, from everywhere. Finally, I got fed up. I said, why don't you run away? I can't rob any more food for you. And we were at the edge of a hill. So I said, roll down the hill, and Chikli Valley, take a boat from there, run away. He rolled down the hill. They caught him. They made him climb back. It took him 2 hours, and then we made him an example in the assembly. He was standing next to the principal as his fugitive. So,
and the principal said, will you do what this boy has done? Will you try and do? And I was made into some kind of a guinea pig on that stage. It was the most humiliating experience of my life. And I was all of 12 years old, and I was, by the way, Amir, in the same school you shot Tare Zameen Par. So when I saw the film, I was a mess, because that same shot I have done, I've sung that Ma song in my head right through those 4 days. That I was, Tujhko pata hai na Ma, meri Ma, that how could you send me to bloody boarding school and torture your only child you had? And I want to tell you, my father was at the top of that slope, that hill that you shot in. And when finally he came, I ran up, literally like a Hindi film heroine, into his arms, and I said, Papa, I beg you, I'll never eat, take me back home. Because I was so traumatized because of her. She was really, she has scarred me, I'm telling you, right?
He wasn't traumatized. He's confessed. He was in love with me. I had a little moustache at that point and he used to look at it and say, that's hot. I like that moustache.
I will slap you 377 times, Twinkle. Alright, okay. Alright. 3 things about you, Twinkle, that no one knows.
My other names could have been Sparkle and Sprinkle. That's
What? Yeah, I want to know about this name. Like, the pet name is Tina and the real name is Twinkle. What were you thinking?
You know, yeah. Now, and she's telling me, why don't you call your daughter Chinar? I said, you know what a nickname will be? This is my mom's idea. So, yeah, we don't ask her for names.
Clearly, at least we have to give full credit for originality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so 3 things about you that no one knows. You said yes. 1.
2, my mother thinks my sister does everything better than me.
Okay.
She runs a house better. She's the Martha Stewart of India. What is the 3rd thing about me? I don't know, there isn't anything. Everyone knows everything now.
Your life is an open book, literally.
It's a, yeah, it is. It's an open book. We're going to open the book, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't have to explain that. That's fair. Alright, okay. What does your husband have that other heroes don't?
A few extra inches. In height, vertically.
Alright, size can shatter and matter. Alright. If you can ban one thing in this country, what would it be?
Maggie.
Man?
Maggie. What?
Maggie. Maggie.
Maggie, 2-minute noodles. We don't want them in our bedroom and we don't want them in our kitchen.
We know Amrita Singh started that ball rolling.
Yes, I know.
Alright, okay. I think Amir is going to leave the room very soon. Alright. Which heroine should be cast according to you in Akshay's next movie?
Jaya Lalitha, and they can do the Cape Crusader.
I'm not even reacting to that. That's my expression. Alright. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when I say the following? The porn ban.
Seriously, as a mom, I would be happy if they did, but as a citizen, I don't agree.
Okay. Article 377.
You can't marry a member of the same gender as you, but this is India, so you can marry a tree.
Yeah, that you can. That is apparently the truth. Twitter trolls.
Cockroaches, you spray hit, they come squirming out, and then you just kind of stamp on them happily.
That's what I should learn to do then. Alright, the stupidest question you've ever been asked in an interview, and don't make this about any question I've asked you.
Somebody actually asked me if I finished school, because apparently my name is Twinkle, so I don't think that my parents could spell or I could spell. So yeah, the stupidest question.
That you finished school?
Have I finished school?
Alright. Who's your first celebrity crush?
No one.
No one?
No.
No? Not enamored by anyone?
No.
Okay. A person you think who deserves their own reality show?
Radhe Ma, I'm obsessed.
Yeah, currently she is quite the national obsession. 3 things no one knows about your husband, Akshay Kumar.
He cries during movies, just like Amir. He wears checkered pajamas, looks like a British gentleman. And
Really?
yeah, every night.
You wear checkered pajamas? I thought you were more shorts kind of guy.
And the very rare occasions that he does get drunk, he sings songs like Mainu Visa Dila De Dubai Da. I've never heard that song ever. Mainu Visa Dila De Dubai Da.
Mainu Visa Dila De Dubai Da.
I sung this song.
Alright. Okay. What would you do if you woke up as the following people? If you woke up as Ranbir Kapoor?
I wouldn't speak because the cat's got my tongue.
What would you do if you woke up as Dimple Kapadia?
I would do everything. It's my choice.
Alright. What would you do if you woke up as Narendra Modi?
Hey, I'll get in trouble for it. I would make Akshay Kumar sports minister.
What would you do if you woke up as Rahul Gandhi?
I'd look for mummy. Okay, I want to ask you. What would you do if you woke up as Mayavati?
Shave. If you found the following people's phones, what would be the most controversial thing on it? Hrithik Roshan.
He's my neighbor. I can look out of my window. I don't have to look at his phone to see things.
Amir Khan.
Pictures of naked aliens for research purposes.
Alright, well done. I don't know if you win the hamper, but you definitely win something. Yeah, you win. Well, thank you. That was Twinkle Khanna Unplugged, as I have said. Well done, Twinkle, and we have a surprise for you. I'd like to now invite on stage a man who knows you inside out. Please welcome your gynecologist, Dr. Sharia. Doctor, where would you like to sit? Welcome to this banter, Doctor. I'm so sorry to do this to you, but there's apparently lots of stuff in the book dedicated to you. And by her own admission, she believes that your idea of foreplay is tapping somebody on their head for your own life, because that's the one part of a woman's anatomy you don't really get to see.
She has announced that very loudly in parties, yes.
Really? So why do you think you're such a large part of the book, Doctor?
Well, I think if women wrote books, gynecologists would be very large parts of the books.
I'm sure. That is true. But apparently under the influence of anesthesia, she said very many strange things.
So I'm under general anesthesia, it's not even like some local thing, and he says, you know, we tell all our women patients, dream about your favorite hero, Amir Khan, Salman Khan, but you have your own, so you dream about him. And then count back to 3 and I'm knocked out.
Yeah. So basically it works this way, that you've got to keep the patient distracted while the anesthesia is being given. So one great way of distracting them is exotic vacation, and most women would like to go for an exotic vacation with who but their favorite
with somebody else's husband.
Well, some will be very good and say husband, and some will say crazy, you know, who do you think of under anesthesia? God. But most women want to film stuff. So actually we know who's the most popular guy, because I know when I'm asking women this question, I know who's the flavor of the season. Trust me, it keeps changing. So this lady here, I said, there's no point in asking you this question because you have a film star back home, and what more. So she starts muttering and saying things about, she's obsessed with height, as you already realized. And she starts talking about other favorite film stars, but keeps muttering that they are so short.
Under anesthesia.
Under anesthesia, that's all that she can say, and she says some names, and she says they are so short. Okay, so that's what
her exotic vacation was.
That's what her exotic vacation was, Akshay, but then the other guys are all short.
Under anesthesia, so I can't
That's
make
the
this
truth.
up.
That's absolutely.
And I have no memory of it.
It's like
He's very proudly gone and told my family.
It's like a truth serum, you know. So that's what she thinks about.
But I have to say, forget about her, but Doctor, you have a blast on so many levels. Because can I be a fly on that wall, especially to see women's fantasies being spoken about under the influence of anesthesia, something I want to hear.
So once I asked this patient, which would be your favorite place you'd like to go to, and usually the Maldives, and one woman tells me the Lal Street. She actually said the Lal Street.
But why?
I have no clue. I have absolutely no clue.
That's almost erotic in a weird way.
Very weird. I think it's a big statue out there on the Lal Street.
Maybe she likes the visual of like 1,000 men screaming in one place. What are your experiences been with Dr. Sharia, Twinkle?
So once I went into false labor. you know, false labors when you think you're just going to deliver. I'm heavily pregnant.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, you've been there. So I go to hospital and he's on this romantic holiday with his wife in Jordan and children. So I called him and I said, you know, doctor, I'm like dying, something's happening to me, and he was very worried. So he kept calling me again and again, and by then I was fine. He kept calling me, he didn't stop. So finally I said, doctor, please focus on the vagina next to you and forget about mine.
And you had what to say to that?
Very little, because what do you say to that? And by the way, is vagina not on the list of those deleted words?
No, you can give me a monologue about it, because
so actually she SMS'd me. Yeah, she actually SMS'd me, and it went something like, will you stop worrying about other women's vaginas and concentrate on the one that's officially yours? That's exactly.
Well, thank you. That's a lovely note. Thank you so much, doctor. Thank you for being here with us. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Dr. Sharia. Thank you. All right, so Twinkle.
I don't think Mr. Khan wants to come on stage. He's thinking this is the second roast and he'll get arrested or something.
He doesn't have. Unfortunately, now he's locked in with us. So, speaking about Mr. Khan, he's a big part of Twinkle's life. Not only as a close friend, but also the big reason why she married Akshay. Because, and I think he will come up and tell you exactly why that is. Please welcome a really close friend of Twinkle's and somebody who's a part of not only her film history, but her marital status, Amir Khan. So you know why I said that, Amir?
I have no idea.
Because apparently she said that if Mela flopped, she would marry Akshay. So you helped.
It was a disaster. I packed my bags and I said, dekho, done.
Yeah. So did you know that?
No, I had no idea, but I'm glad I contributed to that.
So you were, so anyway,
I just want to add that Twinkle constantly, you know, misuses me. And she made me the videographer on her wedding production. Yeah. I was ordered to come and start shooting.
But why did she think that you had a special expertise in that department?
No, she just was giving jobs to various people. So this is the job that landed up with
me. Is that, what has your experience been with her? Because did you ever think she was a good actress?
Oh. Once he asked me, what are you doing? Why are you behaving like this? You're not even focusing on work. I said, I'm thinking about Akshay. He almost slapped me. I still remember.
Did I? No.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't have reacted that way to that.
Yeah, you just made a face.
But
and...
Amir, you always known to be very honest about your opinion. Did you really think she was a good actress?
I thought she was fantastic. I thought she was fantastic.
No, I'll ask you again. Maybe you're being a little intimidated by the surroundings. See, did you think she was a good actress?
Shut up! Okay, how many times? No, I couldn't act. I'm very happy I quit.
Well, you know, all of us have different abilities. And I mean that. And Twinkle is really talented in some of the most amazing, you know, activities like insulting people. She's an expert in insulting people. I mean, all through my life, since I've known her, she's just constantly insulted me.
But what is the most hurtful insult that has been hurled towards you?
No, I can't remember that one. There've been so many. Hurtful, most hurtful. Maybe you remember it. Yeah. Well, that was just a normal one.
There are worse ones. So what has your experience been with her? I mean, like, you know, what has your experience been with her? Like,
well, actually, I had a pretty good experience working with Twinkle. It was great fun working with her. We got really close, and
This is very boring. Why you like just say some like funny things like how I found you. You were crying behind a rock.
I can't compete with you and Karan.
No, you're crying behind a rock. So this is what actually
you got him crying behind a rock.
He was sitting behind a rock. So he had gone to the director to explain this shot, and the director didn't listen to him. And this is Aamir, and he's very serious about his work. So he was heartbroken, and I was looking for him. Where is he? And I went, and there was this massive rock, and he was sitting behind it, and he was crying.
Wow, how sad, Aamir. You were upset because Dharmesh Darshan didn't listen.
Look at what she's doing. Look at what she's doing. So now you have a sample of what she constantly does to me. But it was really good working with her because I discovered that behind this bimbed kind of exterior, there was actually this really sharp person, who had a great intellect, a great sense of humor,
and was extremely perceptive about human relationships, human beings, and I found that quite fascinating.
No, he's saying all this, let me please tell you. So in the beginning when I started writing, I actually have a quote in my book because it was him. So Sarita Tanwar, thank you very much, who asked me to write this column. She said, you're this voracious reader and you crack lame jokes all the time, so why don't you write a column for me? So I told him and he said, hey, you know, everybody in India watches cricket, doesn't mean they can play. So I actually took that quote from him. And then when I started writing, I would send him links of my columns. And he would tell me this is rubbish and send me links of Satyamev Jayate or Satyamev Jayate every day. So one day I sent him a link of my column saying, you know, it's doing really well, I'm trending at number 7. And he said to me, my show is number 1. I said, you're a big time movie star, the primetime TV show, I'm a has-been actress with a column. But he still competes with me. He competes with everybody.
Finished? Yes. I really didn't think she would make it as a writer. So I was really concerned for her. So it was out of concern. I was not being funny. I was concerned that I was telling her, you know, that everybody watches cricket, but not everyone plays it. It was out of concern. You know.
This is the encouragement. And there's my husband on the other side.
Let me finish.
My husband
Let her finish. What happened? I wish the cat would get your tongue. Let him speak. So anyway, I was when I began reading her articles, I was really blown away. I thought she was very good. She made me laugh. She was very perceptive, and you know, it's okay to be a person who's funny and perceptive, but to actually also be able to write that and create that on paper is not easy. So I was most impressed by her.
Yeah, well, she has done really well. So give it up then for Twinkle Khanna. Thank you, Amir. You're not going to sit here. Okay. Not go anywhere now. You're prime time superstar. You cannot go.
Prime time superstar.
And we have to call the man who's actually tolerated Twinkle for more than a decade. Please welcome her husband, Akshay Kumar. Come. No. Huh? Firstly, my deepest condolences. My apologies on behalf of the film fraternity. We come from film families, so we must apologize that these are our products that are on display. So we must say that. And thank you, thirdly, for accepting our girl with open arms and giving her a life.
My pleasure.
He's quite proud of her. He has not agreed with anything I've said. No, but tell me, you have many fights with your wife? Do you fight a lot with her?
Do I fight with her? Yes, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
And who's the first to make up?
Obviously me. It's me, because we have rules in the house. Rule number 1, Funnybones is always right. Tina is always right. And rule number 2, the man of the house has to keep on saying sorry, sorry, sorry all the time. So I'm the guy who keeps on going and begging.
And then rule
Okay, be honest, isn't that the rule? There's no such rule. Okay.
And the third rule?
No, both of us. No, that's all. There are too many rules now.
Okay. No, I can completely imagine. We know she can make you laugh, but when is the last time you think she made you cry?
I think last week only when she saw my film Brothers, she said,
I liked it.
I'm not saying you didn't like it. Let me speak. As I said, she saw Brothers and she said, you work so hard and you're such a strong man. I know you'll protect me for the rest of my life, so I started a bit, I was a little bit emotional about it.
Oh.
So, that's it.
I mean, I have this thing, I like men who can like kick someone and kill
Do you
them.
know, Karan, when she married me, you have to tell them about, she made a whole list why she should marry me. And all my, please go ahead, Tina.
Apparently, this is something very few people do, but I think it's common sense. So when I married him, I'm going to have children with him. So I made a genetic list. You know what diseases run in his family?
I thought I was anal, yeah. This is like serious stuff, yeah.
This is actually, yeah. But
and I hid it in a drawer and he found it. So he's like,
That's why they were asking me at what age my uncle lost his hair and what, you know, who has cancer, and I keep asking him.
That's seriously twisted, Tina.
It's practical.
And did he pass on various accounts?
I have 2 children.
And both beautiful, so well done on genetics then. Alright, fantastic. And so if you had to describe her, because we're all from the fraternity, we had to describe her as a Hindi film title, Akshay, what would that Hindi film title be? That is
I would say she is baby. She's like a deadly mission with a very, very, very happy ending.
You know that has all kinds of meanings.
Listen, I don't know how you're going to think about it, but that was my film, and that's what she is.
It's a baby with a deadly mission and a happy ending. She sounded like something we banned already. Amir, you have a film title that describes Trina?
Yeah, Underworld.
Alright, fantastic. So Tina, now your last thoughts on these 2 men. Both of them have been a big part of your life. In terms of one, your husband, one, an actor you've had a tremendous relationship with. And what are your thoughts on them being on your panel on the launch of this big moment in your life?
They're lucky they're here. There could be 2 other people there, more deserving, but I couldn't find anyone else. So I asked them.
That's why I didn't mention my name. I didn't want this insult hurt at me. I was very happy. Well, I want to say that, you know, all credit or discredit for a person's demeanor, personality, and their general nature comes from the mother. So I think we should call the mother on stage right now to launch this book along with these 2 wonderful gentlemen. And if she has anything to say, or maybe apologize to us on behalf of her daughter.
Hi everyone. I had a lot to say, but I've been asked not to, because after all I am Mrs Funnybones' mother, so it can get just very, very bad. But if you all insist, and you all must really insist, then I would love to share it with you.
Please do. You must.
Should I? Yes. Are you serious? Okay. Now, I don't care how you accept it or take it. Okay, the first time I ever realized that Tina had, she was witty or she could make things up was, I had gone to their house when they were newly married with Kichada, and it was just me, Akshay and Tina. So after having the Kichada, Akshay said, "Arey bhai, ek soda leke aao, thoda sa kala mirin dal ke." Should I stop it? Yes. Serious? But I want to say it. Come on. Go ahead, right? So this chart, my rights. Oh, no, I have to share this because it may be wrong with the. Okay. So it was. That's all right. Go ahead, have a field day. You've never seen me like this. Go on. Okay. So what does my brilliant daughter do with me sitting there, newly married? Both of them. She goes, "Oh, the पेट बिगड़ा जाए, Can you believe this?
No one
I was sitting there, I didn't know where.
My mother, she's my mother. Yeah, worse than me. So there's no questions where I get this from. Mom, please unveil the book. We don't want any more stories.
Yeah, can we have the book, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly?
अरे बीच में बैठ के जाओ यार
Hello.
Excuse me, ma'am. नीचे बैठिए.
There are a few people I'd like to thank. Penguin, Millie, Caroline, Aman, Gaurav. My editor, Chiki Sarkar, who when I said I wanted to write this sober book, hit me on my head with a thesaurus and made me write this. So if you like it, blame her. If you don't, blame her. I'd like to thank Sarita Tanwar. As you would say, she let the nut out of the madhouse, so thank you. Mr. Pritish Nandi, for always listening to all my queries and never following his advice, but he wouldn't grumble about it. My family, my sister, who tries to make every column I write politically correct, and my family, Karan, Amir, Mom, thank you for that lovely incident, and I'm very happy that nobody could hear that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being such a fabulous audience. And Mrs Funnybones is available at a store near you, so go grab your copy. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Thank you.
You're on the police, thank God. Go back in, go back in.
Go back and give them back.
Please drink some wine and eat and have fun. We've made you laugh, I hope. I hope everybody had a good time, and thank you for coming, all my friends and my family and everybody. Thank you.
Are we going to neighboring room again or are we doing this? No, I'll do later. Tommy, are you okay? Yes, NQ. Hi darling, how are you? How are you doing?
मैं तो फोटोज ले रही थी.
After a long time I'm seeing you, my darling. And you
mean, not every
Twice or thrice you FaceTime. I don't think you have to FaceTime.
I met All right, done. Thank you very much.